Yo, we're back. We are here in Nebraska one more time at Bay Hills Country Club. And this is an opportunity I got for 1 year later, right? This is year two golfing. And my first ever full length course was right here, Bay Hills Golf Club. So, take two, 1 year later. Chris is going to be catching up with me just like last year. And we'll see how we've improved. And it is a beautiful day. It was supposed to be all stormy and stuff. That passed overnight. So instead of having to deal with rain and storm, we have post-rain storm, which means decent temperatures, receptive greens, and a beautiful day. So yeah, here we are, Bay Hills. Let's get her going.
This round is really important to me this year, actually. It's basically that 1 year milestone, and I get to look back and see just how much I've improved in this past year. Um, I know that my swing has faults, and there's a lot that I'm working on. My driver is still fairly wild. I can't, maybe I'd say 40% of the time, I get a good drive, and probably honestly, like 30% of the time, 20%, I'm dealing with penalty strokes off the tee. It's pretty significant and something I really need to work on. Along with that, I've been discovering this year that every single club I have has a slice to it, and the longer the club, the worse the slice. So I'm working on shallowing out my clubs, and there's a lot that I need to work on. My short game is still a strong focus as well. Putting is becoming more important too. But yeah, every facet of my game still needs significant improvement. The question for today, however, is very simply, how much have I improved since I started playing golf 1 year ago today? Now, it might not have been exactly today, but it has been about 52, maybe 53 weeks since I played Bay Hills for that very first time. And that was my first full length course. So we're starting off here at the range, just hitting some 4 irons. One of the big things I've learned this year has to do with Decade Golf. If you've never heard of it, it's run by Scott Fawcett. And the idea is basically that you want to pick your targets based upon the actual dispersion of the club that you're hitting and what the landing zone looks like at that particular location. So if my driver is wild and my 3-wood's a bit wild, then maybe the 4 iron is actually the best choice. And sometimes maybe that is a little bit too wild and we still have to back off, even though it's a longer hole. And what I discovered by doing that, looking through Google Maps and checking out width of fairways and such, is that this course at Bay Hills was designed for a 200-yard drive. So you'll see a lot of drives with my 4 iron, which is about a 200, 210-yard club, and a lot of second shots with it as well. There's one par 5 on this course that is a 4 iron off the tee, a 4 iron second shot, and a 7 iron into the green. Just because of the way that it's designed, if you don't do that, you have such a narrow landing zone that you're almost guaranteed to put one in the hazard. And I think that brings up one of the biggest differences between my game back then and my game now. And that is just plain, I have more knowledge of the game. The last time I played this course, I took my driver off of every single tee that I could. And that led to a lot of penalties. Now I realize that, well, yes, that had to do with my skill at the time. It also has to do with how the course is designed. And I'm no longer fighting course design, rather working to understand that and play within those bounds as best I can to, score as best I can, which unfortunately isn't the most amazing, but it is, as we'll find out today, a lot better than it was. And you saw that right. We are starting off this round with an incredible 4-putt. And this is my buddy Chris. We lifted weights together for a couple of years, and only just before playing that first round here last year did I discover that he's also a former college golfer. So it was a lot of fun to be able to get out on the course and knowing what I know now and to be able to play and talk golf with such a knowledgeable guy that we get along with so well. It was a lot of fun to get out there and play Bay Hills with him this year.
All right, well, that was a drop. Apparently I hit it out of bounds. Got 100 to the center. This is a sand wedge. Oh, hit the power lines.
Yep.
Did you see where it went from there?
Yeah, it's in the valley over here.
Oh gosh.
So you're gonna redo it.
I think it's a redo, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to toss me a red one there in the...
Yep.
So what would have been a GIR turns into 3 on the green because of the drop that I had to take. And now we get to see one of the most challenging parts of my playing in Nebraska versus Virginia. My home course has really, really fast greens. So fast that even a 60 with a ton of spin is still going to roll out at least a little bit. But that is not the case here, especially not post rain. These greens were receptive and it was very easy to get stuff to stop on a dime. But it was also very easy to leave putts short.
Boom! There we go.
One of my favorite channels here on YouTube is Not a Scratch Golfer. The guy's awesome. Adam has an amazing approach to the game and recognizes that he doesn't necessarily have the best of swings, he doesn't necessarily have the best of games, but he's learned a lot about the game and how to mitigate the damage when things go wrong. I'm obviously still learning a lot, and today I'm practicing what he calls the memory of a goldfish. You take one shot at a time and recognize just how fortunate you are to be on the golf course, and in this case, to be playing with my buddy, whom I haven't seen in over a year now. There were some guys behind us that were playing pretty quick, so I didn't record hole number 4, and we're gonna stop today at the end of the front 9. That said, the front 9 was pretty rough for me, and this hole right now that we're about to see is pretty indicative of how I was playing the back 9. Honestly, it's nothing incredibly special, but it is keeping the ball in bounds and, generally speaking, playing within your means. In this case, it's a GIR and a 3-putt. And dude, I will take bogey golf any day. My drive here left me with no real choices. I'm stuck behind trees on the left side of the fairway on a dogleg left.
Can't even. I'm just gonna pitch it out to the fairway. With a little 6-iron, pop it out there. That looks decent. Make that 4 while you're sitting 1. And we're still only going 80 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not doing anything special here. This is the same thing I did back there, a little 7-iron pop up.
So this was a terrible hole. I had a couple of bad shots and some really bad luck. But memory of a goldfish. I'm really proud of my attitude on this one. I just played it one shot at a time. And what you're seeing here is a big focus for me this year. My short game has improved significantly. And one of the primary reasons is because of this. As I came up to this chip, the very first thing that I did was head up to the green and find a spot on the green that I want this ball to land. Picking that spot has been crucial to the improvements that I've made in my short game this year, and that diligence has been really paying off. Well, each new hole presents a new opportunity, and 160 yards is my 8-iron. While the greens here are a lot slower than I'm used to, I'm beginning to adjust to them, and my putting on the back nine is going to be much better than it has been on the front. And with that, you see the worst hole of the day, followed immediately by the best.
This shot is a perfect reminder why pin high may not be a good thing. All right, we're gonna take a 6-iron. We're just gonna do what we can with a 6-iron. I'm gonna try and basically bounce it through the sand trap. Yo, I'll take it. Oh, I didn't get good contact on that lie. Well, it was an interesting day today. All clubs were doing something a little bit different. I made an adjustment on the range that turned my slice into a draw. So that caused some interesting things to happen. It meant that I got probably 3 balls out of bounds. I wasn't expecting to get out of bounds. Even so, I scored a 95 today, and that was a good 95, including all penalties. You can see the course here. It wasn't a long course. It was fairly short, but the greens were really, really difficult. But we played the blues, and the rating was a 125. 72 125, and my home course is a 71 130. So harder for bogey golfers at home, harder for scratch golfers here, which is weird. But we did good. I figured it out with the putting and got my distances on by the end. I think I got 1 par today on one of the par 3s. That was it. And yeah, it was a great day. It was honestly the best part about it was just being able to see Chris and hang out with my old buddy again. You know, that's what I'm hoping eventually golf will be about, right? Is a lot less about my swing and my score, and a lot more about the people, right? The stories that you get along the way. Nonetheless, we got back to Bay Hills, and my 115 plus 15 lost balls in 1 year has turned into a 95. So, right? Yeah, I'm proud of it. I think we did pretty good today.